James Desrat from Newcastle, Oklahoma. I got a 72 El Camino here. It's been sitting for about 23 years. We just recently put it together. It took about 5 months. It's been in the family since the late 80s. It was my dad's car originally. We've got thousands of miles in it with him and I growing up as kids and up into teenage years. And it got parked when I was 14, had an engine failure. He drove this thing every day. It was his daily driver, and it sat for many years after that. And he passed about the 8 years in February coming up. I inherited the car. We moved from California out here, brought it with me. We got into Race Week here back in April and didn't really have a car to do it with at the time. Not anything that was practical. Got some race cars and stuff that just wasn't practical to do. And the wife and I sat down a couple nights in a row and decided it was time to put this together. So, of course, we went way over budget where we wanted to be, but it's well worth it. It's 6.2 out of a Denali. It had a DOD failure. I'm a mechanic as a profession, a shop foreman in Oklahoma City, and we had this motor come in, and Denali has DOD failure, and it whacked a piston, so I ended up just paying the core cost on it. Took it home. That was actually a couple years ago, and it didn't even know it was going to be in this car yet, but neither did I. Yeah, we ended up getting a piston and a rod for it, used from another buddy of mine that does dismantling for LS stuff, and had the heads freshened up, put a BTR valve train in it, camshaft, did ICT billet accessory brackets and setup like that, and put cold air system on it from Texas. Did a Turbo 400 with a gear vendor with the roller in, gutted it. It's got 12 bolt in it, which was already in the car, but we did C-clip eliminator, 35 spline axle, spool and all that stuff. Kind of went overboard. All the rear suspension shit is all overboard. It's upper lower control arm, tubular, and then anti-roll bar. And I mean, the car could go, you know, probably mid-high nines on a 250 shot probably, but we left highway gears in it because this is what we were specifically building it for. And we lucked out, man. We originally were building this car for a 12.0 class, and the first weekend out with it, within 5 passes, we were pretty much right there at 4,500 foot DA. So we were pretty excited about that. We ran our first ever 12.0 with the car last night. Which was pretty exciting too, because our first pass off the trailer was not good. But we made up for it in our second and final pass of the night and put ourselves in number 3 spot the first day. So pretty exciting. Pretty surreal, to be honest with you. My wife and I are making the trip, and I get to share this with her. This is our first trip together. I mean, she's been out there street racing with me since we've been together, but this is a little different now, and it's different for me. It's my first drag and drive, and it's pretty exciting, man. We really haven't had any major issues with it, just small nuts and bolts getting loose here and there on a brand new build. Outside of that, it's run flawless, and we're happy with it. Towing 1,000 pounds worth of extra stuff and running the AC the whole time. We're getting almost 14 miles a gallon, so we can't complain. With a carburetor on top of that. I would like to finish in the top 3. Originally, we wanted to finish top 5, but after seeing last night, I feel pretty good about it. We obviously have room for improvement because that 12.04 pass, I did nothing different than what we were already doing up at our home track. So I still got a little timing I can mess around with, jetting. We could pick up a couple more numbers if we have to. So I think we can go 12.0 all week of some sort, and if that's the case, I think we'll be in the top 3 running, I believe.
Awesome. Well, good luck this week.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.